I'm Dr. Ben Talei. I'm a facial plastic surgeon in Beverly Hills, and I specialize not just in surgery, but really truly specialize in non-invasive treatments such as Botox, fillers, injectables, lasers, and that kind of stuff. In the filler family, we have different kinds. So we have the permanent and the semi-permanent. And I try to advise my patients that injectables, although wonderful for small little changes, are not meant to make big changes in the face. They're also very unpredictable because it's an injectable. You're grabbing a syringe, you're putting a needle on it, you're shooting it, it can go places. And these are either beads, pastes, either one of those things, and they can cause problems in the future. So what are those problems? You have the immediate problems that we worry about with vascular issues and clogging vessels and blinding somebody, of course, but the long-term issues that nobody thinks about is what effect is this going to have in the long term on my face? If you inject a permanent or semi-permanent filler, that's Bellafill, Aquamed, Aquafill, silicone type polymers, those kind of things, I advise really being cautious. None of these are FDA approved for anything but acne at this point. So you're really taking a chance, but those things can cause inflammatory issues over time. And even though it doesn't look bad the first couple of years, at 5 years, your body starts to build scar tissue in response to these. So this tiny little bit of filler you put that you think is going to go away, built this much scar tissue on top of it. That is something kind of interesting where people would think that, hey, I do something small now, it's going to go away. It's not going to affect me in the future. That's not true. If you break your arm off and snap it off, it's an immediate thing. It's going to affect you very much for the next 100 years. So this is how fillers are. One little immediate thing can affect you in the future. The more benign fillers are the hyaluronic acid fillers. Radius, which is calcium hydroxyapatite, is kind of in this middle zone. Hyaluronic acid is the HLA or HA fillers, and that's the Juvederm and Restylane and Bellotero, the things that are the clear gels. We inject those in the face to add volume, to fill lines, to change shadows, different things like that. In the under eyes, we can use it to get rid of the hollows, the cheeks to give accent, the temples to bring it out and smooth it, the lips to give a little bit of zhuzh, they say, so a little bit of like lip volume. The issue with doing this over and over and over again is that these things, although they're temporary sounding, they're not entirely temporary. So the filler that you inject one day, day one, might last 1 year, might last 10 years. We don't know. Some of it goes away, some of it doesn't go away. So effectively what can happen is the filler can accumulate over time to different parts of the face, and the face can slowly start getting heavier. These fillers are not made of bone, they're not made of anything solid, so when you add it, you're adding water weight to the face. And these are called hydroscopic or hydrophilic fillers, meaning they draw in water. So you inject this much filler, you can gather this much water around it. On top of that, they can move. The fillers that move less are the newer, more recent fillers that have come out. The older fillers tend to move a little bit more, meaning they can migrate within about 1 centimeter. Silicone can migrate 20 millimeters, meaning 2 centimeters. So if you have this stuff in your face, long periods of time, what happens? We get something called filler fatigue. A lot of people call it filler fatigue, and that just means that your face is getting tired of this stuff. It doesn't like having it in there. It clogs the lymphatic drainage system, which means the drainage part of your face, you imagine someone with allergies, they come and you see they have puffy eyes. You can actually cause that with fillers, that appearance, because you inject things down over here, a little bit of gel, it clogs the drainage pipes of your face and you accumulate more water over time. That's one type of filler fatigue. The other is you just keep adding water everywhere by adding fillers along the jawline and adding it in the chin. And you see these crazy photos that are these huge dramatic before and after changes. And I tell people, listen, these are fillers. This isn't surgery. Don't go keep adding gel and water to your face. It's crazy. And I'm not saying don't do filler. You can do filler, just do small amounts of it. Because what's going to happen is you're going to gather all this water in your face. You're going to age way more rapidly. The elasticity of your skin is going to change because it's carrying, instead of the normal amount of water, 5 gallons of water all the time. Hyaluronic acid is the particle or the sugar in your face that carries water. Naturally, it occurs in the SMAS and the dermis of the face, and it can carry up to 1,000 times its weight in water. So even these tiny little particles that you have already hydrate your face. When you add all this filler, it can overhydrate. So the smart idea is to use it to make small corrective changes. Don't take it overboard. If in the end you need surgery, do surgery. If you need a skin tightening, do skin tightening. Skin tightening is amazing. I tell people, instead of trying to fill out these things all the time, go do a skin tightening like Profound. you have a week of downtime, but then it'll shrink things down so you don't have as much laxity in the face. Not as much laxity means not as much filler that you need to do. And then you don't have to worry about this filler fatigue where you're going to age more rapidly. I don't like when I walk into the room and I look at someone's face and I go, whoa, and I get surprised. I hate that. And it takes me about 2 minutes to get used to just looking at them. They're big, chunky, thick faces. They don't have nice definition. They've taken things too far. And it's because they've done filler as maintenance. Botox and Dysport and Xeomin, the neurotoxins can be done as maintenance every 4 to 6 months. Filler should not be done as routine maintenance. You go only when you have to. So you give it a year, you give it 2 years. I've injected my friends 5 years ago in the under eye, and they still have it and they look great. It's very difficult to get rid of this stuff. We do have dissolvers called hyaluronidase. We have different ones. One of them comes from lamb testicles. One of them comes from humans. We've got different kinds. They're all wonderful, but you don't want to use these unless you have to, because if you inject dissolver into the face for someone who has filler fatigue, you're going to cause some damage. And we're causing that damage knowingly. We know that we're going to go cause some damage because we have to get rid of this old filler. It's blowing up their face. But when we do it, it's not benign. You shrink your own tissues somewhat. In the under eyes, your natural hyaluronic acid is very little, so not a big deal. But if you ever dissolve this area, it can make a huge change on someone's face and deflate them. So dissolving and getting rid of this stuff, yes, it's an option, but it's not the most beautiful, amazing, sexy option. It's an okay option that you do when you have to. So please don't think that just because we can reverse this stuff that we want to. Don't get to the point where you have to chase these things. Be conservative and really look at the practitioner who's dissolving you or injecting you. If they look like a monster or a beast, do not let them inject you. You want to go to somebody who looks delicate, because if they have dysmorphia on their own face, they're going to make you look like them.